Okay, this is our final presentation. Our company is Bottledge, and this is presented by Laura Velázquez, Andrés Felipe Echavarria, Valentina Velandia, Javier Elías Berrocal, Santiago Londoño, and Ismael Salazar Fernández. Okay, so this is our agenda. First, we have work team presentation, company and product presentation, overall company's strategy and configuration of the supply chain explanation, roles and company strategies and the results of the company results, weekly challenges, and conclusions. Okay, so this is our team. Here we have Andrés Felipe Chavarria TOBON, our Chief Operations Officer, Javier Elias Berrocal Arroyo, our Chief Logistics Officer, Valentina Velandia Rivera, our Chief Purchases Officer, Santiago Londoño Sepúlveda, our Chief Sales Officer, Ismael Salazar Fernández, our Chief Financial Officer, and me, Laura Velázquez Rendón, the Chief Executive Officer. Okay, so Bottledge, about us. We are a company that produces thermos with innovative and advanced technology located in Medellin, Colombia. Our mission is provide high quality products that are affordable and competitive while having a sustainable supply chain that complies with the international environmental standards and safe manufacturing practices. The products are competitive in the market because we offer a comparative advantage compared to the current market offer. Because although there is thermos on the market with similar technologies, our product offer greater comfort to the consumers. Because it's very light, their designs are minimalistic, and their size and colors adapt to the needs to the clients. Okay, so our vision at Bottledge is to be the global leader in innovative, sustainable, and stylish bottles that enhance people's everyday lives. We aspire to inspire a worldwide shift towards a more conscious and environmentally responsible lifestyle and to be recognized as a catalyst for positive change in the world. We strive to exceed our customers' expectations by building a brand through exceptional product design, quality, and service, while being profitable, solving our clients' needs. We expect to be a global reference in any tool from daily to wide lifestyle. Okay, so our products are bottles with innovative and advanced technology, double walled and designed to retain the temperature for hours of your liquid, making them the perfect choice of any season or environment. Okay, so who are our consumers? The company defines the channel of sales as B2B, incurring in the wholesale market with retailers to reach our final customers and seeking to make sales in large volumes since they buy the product in bulk. Regarding the final consumer, our products have great versatility since they can be used by anyone who needs to carry hot or cold drinks for long periods of time, covering a large segment of the market. And what are we good at? Our company focuses on product development strategy, where it not only helps us achieve our business goal, but also finds a way to enter new markets, sell to more customers, or standing out from our competition. With these strategies that focus on meeting the true needs of the customer rather than developing features that customers don't need. Okay, so what makes our company unique? We think about people's needs when buying bottles or thermos, attempting to solve questions such as how long I'm going to drink my drink, or how long do I need my drink to stay at the right temperature. Starting from the identified problem, we seek to provide a solution through quality materials and the implementation of innovative technology without neglecting the aesthetics and image of the bottle, making them comfortable and easy to handle. Okay, so why do consumers customers choose our product over the competition. We consider cultural factors like beliefs, behaviors, and ideology to combine standardization and adaptation strategies and provide our customers with a better product, keeping in mind ergonomic packaging, efficient methods of operations, high quality product, reliable network service, and the lifestyle cycle of the product. Mainly because we offer lower prices than other companies, also because the quality of the designs, and because our bottles are insulated. Okay, so which supply chain processes make our product more valuable to our customers? Our chain operation is done nationally, from the raw materials manufacturing, from our suppliers to the shipment to our distribution center, which reduces our cost and allows us to sell the products at an affordable price.
I am Valentina Velandia and I am the Chief Purchases Officer. Talking a little bit about my role, I am in charge of choosing suppliers, supervise the estimation of the purchases. That was challenging because it was important to take into account the forecasted demand and the real demand week per week. As well, another task was that I am in charge of manage the contracts with other suppliers, and also I am in charge of like the negotiations or the purchase agreement of raw materials and finished products with the competitors. Now, linking my role with the company's strategy, of course, like the priorities was based on increasing reliability, reducing inventory, and preparing for demand. So basically, the department was in charge of find the suppliers that met the requirement of efficiency, reliability, and quality, and not leaving behind the value. For this strategy, I work hand in hand with the CSO, Santiago, and the COO, Andres, to have access to real-time information on the status inventory, the status of raw material, products, outstanding orders, like to expedite this order placement. And talking about the improvement or some challenges that the company had during the weeks at the beginning, like our strategy was based on the forecasted demand because of the uncertainty and with like the expectations of how the market will welcome our product. Therefore, we decide to make purchase orders for both types of suppliers, the slow supplier and the fast supplier, clearly taking into account the delivery days that each one offered to us. This is very important because like around week 4, we had enough raw material, so we made purchases order to the supplier that supplied us at a lower cost, that was the slow supplier. Another point that was really challenging was during one of the weeks that the company was closed and the market also demanded our product. So it was very challenging since at first it affected like the finance of the company. So the department decided to place purchases orders with the fast supplier that had a higher cost. However, it allowed us to cover like the market demand. And for the last week, we carried out some negotiations with other companies, but the purchase order with company number 4 was finalized. And thanks to this like decision strategy and these negotiations, we met the market demand.
Okay, now talking about the sales department of the company, me as the CSO or Chief Sales Officer of Bottledge company, I can say that our main objective in the department was to work on forecast accuracy and decisions, analyzing prices, fitting our strategy, and doing an accurate management of the order outstanding, avoiding extra costs. This strategy for forecast was based mainly in analyzing at first the elasticity of the daily demand, starting the real demand from previous weeks during the case, and also adopting the strategy to the challenge that we face. In the sector of the prices decisions, the strategy was to be profitable as much as possible, reaching real demand and adopting the price of the product to our forecast. And then for the order outstanding, evidently The objective was to avoid at all cost spending orders, so we don't have to pay extra costs. We do have to make different and important decisions during the case, starting from week 1 where we did establish a high price of $15 that make us reaching minimum sales in this week. Once we received the results, the price of the product went down from 15 to 10, where we achieve an optimum balance between price and real demand. Then on week number 8, we increased the price from 10 to 13. This decision was made after we closed on week 7, and we knew from week 6 that we lost a lot of our raw material. This leave us order outstanding from this week, and the objective, increasing the price, was to reduce the real demand so we can fulfill the orders outstanding. For week 9 and 10, the company faced an increase in real demand, being up to 5 times more than the previous real demand that we saw on the case. Based on that the department decided to reduce again the price to $10 so we can reach the boom of demand, attracting consumers with the new lower price. This, once we already managed the issues from week 6 and week 7. Finally, for the 2 last weeks, we did not fulfill the increased demand, and we still have order outstanding from week 11. This because the increase in the real demand was more than we expected. So this led us to start a negotiation with another company, profiting the new level of production that we acquire once we do the negotiation with the new supplier, and then so we can supply the demand for week 12 and finish the case without leaving order outstanding.
Me as the COO, the Chief Operation Officer, I was the person in charge of the daily activities of the company, mostly when we talk about operational things between the factory and our teams or departments that work there. And this means that leading the operations team means to determine the objectives to be achieved, following up with the task and supervising the workloads on the factory. I also have to be with the other departments and integrate them to work in the same way, so we can improve the processes that we are going through right now. And now, after this overview, I want to emphasize on the strategy that I was using during this project. I was trying to look for the production schedule, making decisions on how much we're going to produce, ensuring that the installed capacity of the plant was going well. We're going using all the capacity. Also trying to reduce producing costs by seeking new processes and innovating on those we have now and we are developing with other departments. And also, without leaving aside that who guide our decisions in many occasions were the weekly challenges and the behavior of the market. And something that I was thinking through the project that was something that we can improve. It was that we were able to improve as the weeks went by. Challenges and demands guide many decisions of us, but we did not think further than 1 or 2 weeks on the future, taking into account the variation and volume of the current production and how it changed every week. We could have made better plan to supply the demand or production for our customers.
Well, I'm Javier Berrocal, and I'm the Chief Logistic Officer. And my role in the company was to oversee the dispatch and shipments and be responsible of ensuring the best costs and benefits with the selection of transport modes, also to keep inventory as low as possible. We had 3 types of inventory that were raw material, finished product inventory, and points of sale inventory. So in the raw material inventory, we end up spending 2,756,000 US dollars, and we place more than 2 million units. We try to use the slot supplier as much as possible, but regarding many issues that we had during the operations in week 8 and 11, we end up ordering more than 1 million units by fast supplier because we needed at this time regarding the upcoming increase of demand in the 10th week, and also to finish overall operations and for the 12th week. But keep in mind that every unit of raw material was used to produce with the expected demand of the upcoming weeks. So we never had a raw material without producing. Regarding the finished product inventory, we ship every single unit that we have ready to ship in finished product inventory. So by Saturday, in most of the weeks, we had 0 units. We only have 30,000 units between the second and third week because we were just beginning the exercise and we didn't take into account that kind of things. So after understanding that and having it to account, the, the rest of the week, we didn't have any products inventory on Saturdays in finished product inventory. We reduce this cost by doing it, and we only end up spending less than $1 million in this kind of inventory. Now, in the point of sale inventory, this was the most challenging of all the aspects in the operation, because every single week that we planned or expected demand, we were seeing that every single week we had more than expected. So most of the time, or we run out of point of sale inventory. But regarding this, we planned this and we tried to ship the units before. So during the week, we had a little bit of short inventory in the point of sale. But at the end of the week, when the merchandise came to the point of sale, it was covered most of the time, and this helped us to reduce the cost in the point of sale inventory. We end up spending less than $200,000 here, and we try to reduce the accumulation of inventory because we knew that this was the most expensive inventory of all of them. And regarding the units shipped, we take into account the times and cost, and we considered that we try to use sea as much as possible because of its cost, and we only use air when was really necessary. We try to do it in very small quantities to reduce this cost. We only use Air Express only once, and the air consolidated mode, we only use it 4 times. We try to do this because of the necessity on each week to have it before the end of the week to try to reduce the overall outstanding orders. So of the more than 1 million units that we send, we we send it most of them by sea, and we spend most of the money in this transportation mode.
Hello, I'm Ismael Salazar. I'm the Chief Financial Officer of the company, and I'm responsible to oversee if the demand forecasts were correct and adjust them according to the decisions made by the rest of the officers. I also ensure that the risk and cost are being reduced and the profits increased.
Okay, so now we have the company results. We have a total income of 2,693,591 dollars, and here we have the net income per week. And for the final week, we have 887,900 50 and 50. And here we have the cost distribution, the total with the percentages of manufacturing cost, of selling expenses, of transport, of raw materials, and administration expenses. Okay, so now we have orders outstanding. We have for the last week of orders outstanding, 59,184 units. And for the real demand versus forecast, we have for the real demand 97,963, and for the forecast we have 70,000.
Financial performance. Our financial performance was as follows. For the gross profits, we have a total of 7,487,701. For the total operational expenses, we had 4,794,110. That represents 64% of our gross profits. And for the total operational income, we had 2,693,591. That represents 36% of gross profits. Our performance management strategy focused in increasing gross profits while reducing our cost. To achieve this strategy, we mainly used forecasting. For the forecasting, we set goals and targets by creating an initial projection of the operation in this first trimester of the year. We also analyze price variation of daily elasticity of demand together with our production capabilities, ongoing supply shipments, and point of sale inventory stock to adjust the product's price. Finally, we followed a demand forecasting strategy based in market sentiment with the news and previous week's real demand statistics. Regarding our metrics or key performance indicators, we standardize this within all of our business units. Also aligned our metrics to cover the entire supply chain management operation, and we adapted existing supply chain management key performance indicators, including inventory days of supply, day sales outstanding, and inventory turnover rate to be able to forecast efficiently and accurately the supplies needed for the production required to fulfill weekly projected demand. Also for accurate control of our point of sales replenishment rates to reduce operational costs. For the day sales outstanding in week 4, we had the lower performance, and we were able to generate revenue faster as the time point of sales inventory was selling in fewer days. For week 8, we had the highest day sales outstanding due to a whole week of business closure that decreased of our point of sales inventory, and we experienced losses as the stock was going to take more time to replenish to be sold. For week 12, we got a balanced result higher than week 4, but lower to week 8. This was because at the end of the trimester, we increased our production capacity to 170,000 units per week, and we adjusted the demand forecasting strategy because in the negotiations with our new client, we agreed to supply them with 150,000 units, which led us to deviate from previous purchase strategy as we used air shipments, which ultimately reduced the days list sales outstanding. Regarding inventory turnover, in week 4, we were negative, representing more sales than inventory in stock that we were able to accurately forecast for the upcoming month. In week 8, we were positive as we achieved a balance between our purchasing strategy and our point of sales replenishment strategy. In week 12, we were again in the negative side as our production output increased and we had to fulfill a big order from the new client that almost used all of our new production capacity and left us with no inventory at the point of sales. Regarding our share price analysis, in week 4, we started having an increased demand and sales that translated into profits that reflected a new maximum share price. In week 8, we experienced high volatility due to previous week's business closure that affected negatively our overall operation. Lastly, for week 12, we had an increased volume of sales due to the supply contract negotiations with the new client, which led to an increase in stock price from previous weeks. Bottledge ended with a positive income of 2,693,591. This is 400% more than our 672,933 initial forecast. Overall performance management strategy was focused in increasing gross profits while reducing our operational cost. Cost reduction strategy involved reducing the outstanding orders by using mainly maritime shipment method to be able to get on-time required supplies to use all our production capacity, while depleting point of sales inventory. And finally, our performance management strategy was possible by accurately forecasting demand, by establishing cross-business unit metrics with our performance indicators aligned to support the enterprise objectives.
Going to talk about the weekly challenge and how the company faced them, and also like with help with each department. So at first, we have the first challenge. For this first challenge, our company and strategies were defined, and well, the assignments of the roles. So at first, we developed our strategy based on what makes our company unique, also our mission, also our vision. That was already shared before by our CEO, Laura. So the real challenge for Bottledge was to find the way of how our company aligned our supply chain with our mission, and also how all these processes were going to help to achieve our goals. So when we start this week challenge, the company members established that like our purpose or like our principle for the decision making must be that the result must work best if all the aspects of the change are strategically leveraged. So the idea was to work toward helping the total change to succeed and not toward maximizing the succeed of one like individual element of the change. So we can say that our decisions were like directed to be strategically like leverage operations from raw material to finished products. And in the second challenge, we have the contract management. So at first, the most important principle was taken, which is the pacta sunt servanda, Well, this is part, we know that this is part of international custom, and which basically established that the aspects or the terms must be always be fulfilled, and of course has to be fulfilled on their own terms. Some important clauses were established, talking about commercial and legal clauses, and we're going like to highlight some of them. The first one of course, the object, where like the obligations and right of the parties are established, specifying, of course, the raw material supplied. The value established that the prices are firm and not like subject to any readjustment for any reason. Also, the delivery term, and talking about the payment, the value, and the mean of payment or the mechanism that we use to pay to our supplier. Then we have also in these commercial clauses the Incoterms, that is super important. We established the Incoterms 2020 in CDP. And finally, some legal clauses that involve the dispute resolution. For this contract, the arbitration was established, also the jurisdiction and the place where the arbitration must be held. And finally, some like grounds for termination of the contract.
During week 5, we faced a challenge based on the supply chain strategy focused on the trade-off that we could assume in the company. Our strategy was based on the responsiveness and the efficiency of the company, where the main objective of this strategy was to maintain regulated inventory and reduce cost by balancing production and meeting demand, which led us to decrease the price from $15 to $10, a decision that we made on week 1, and to achieve a balance after week 1 between supply and demand in subsequent weeks. The overall approach adopted was aimed to minimize risk, avoid cost increase, and maximize profitability by maintaining production levels and adopting a balanced strategy through the weeks before week number 1. So week 2, week 3, and week 4. One of the trade-offs that we assumed was to increase the delivery time, but this led us to reduce transportation costs. This being the objective of being profitable, as our strategy states, and then also reduce the cost inventory by increasing goods at the point of sale. For the week number 7, we did close our company, so we don't have information for this week.
The performance of the logistic processes to be efficient were very important for us. For example, the KPIs or those indicators. To know the forecast or the probability of the future behavior of the process and eliminate errors or discrepancies in this process. Also, all the other indicators that we take into account was inventory days of supply, days sales outstanding, and inventory turnover. For the inventory days of supplies, inventory days were represented by the number of days of the inventory that we can restock and we can have on our warehouse. Next, the days sales outstanding reveals how fast our company was collecting payments from customers. And last, the inventory turnover reveals insights about how many times the entire inventory is sold over a specific period of time. For week 9, the supply chain logistics, it was very important because here we took into account that the opportunity to have a new distribution center. This means that we can be closer to our customer, we can reduce cost, we can be more efficient to ship more products and produce faster. This means that the strategic fit for us will comply with the priorities with the cost between the customer and our firm. Next, on one of the last week challenges we decided that the new distribution center was a great idea, and we have the capability to produce double of production that we have in the main center here in Medellin, Colombia. That's why Bottledge consolidate a new distribution center with a new production facilities infrastructure with a larger warehouse in the Candelaria Free Trade Zone in Cartagena.
So finally, we have the conclusions, and we identify key elements in the supply chains that are the strategy, the organization, the planning, the management, and the control of activities. We have different strategies for purchasing, distributions, and for sales. This is essential for managing the working capital. Another conclusion that we have is that the enterprise managed to achieve a performance management strategy by developing a common understanding of supply chain objectives, targets, and forecasting. This is aligned with our supply chain process with an organizational structure and also by covering all business units perspective for forecasting and integrating the KPIs across all the departments involved in the operation. And the final conclusion of this exercise is that overall strategies increase gross profit by reducing operational costs, also with the different metrics and efficiency leads to fulfill the goals, creating value for both stakeholders and customers.